Hello, and thanks for tuning in to Secrets of Tomorrow's Leaders. My name is Koren Young here at RK Studios, and this will likely be my last episode as host of this podcast for JCI Santa Clarita. I'm joined today by two very cool guests, and you've seen them before if you've watched previous episodes. To my immediate left, this is Mr. Alex Hafizi, who is our current and outgoing chapter president. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you.
And then to his left is Katie Collins, who
Hello.
is a relatively new member of JCI Santa Clarita for just about a year, right? Almost, you said January 1st, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
My anniversary's coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, and already joining the board as our incoming Vice President of Marketing and Communications.
Yay, I'm so excited.
So welcome to you too.
Thank you.
We're going to start this conversation off with a pod deck. So I've got all kinds of questions on here. And I'm going to ask you guys the same question. Okay, so the question here is 5 things that you're excited about right now. So I guess it doesn't have to be 5, but Alex, you have some things that you're excited about either for the holidays, for the new year?
Sure. Well, I'm actually excited to turn the gavel over to Cindy. I think it's going to be awesome to have a new president and go in a different direction for next year. I'm also excited personally to possibly adopt children with Arnold.
Yay!
So
Big
we're
changes.
in the process of that. We'll see how that goes.
Exciting.
So yeah, obviously the children is like the big thing that you're looking forward to for this coming year.
Definitely, yeah.
And then also passing, you mentioned passing the gavel. Do we have a literal gavel now?
We do. Yeah.
After 25 years, we finally got a gavel?
Yeah, we do.
Now, and why did we get the gavel?
Well, okay, so do we want to go into that whole story?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Starting with the whole Daniela stealing, or not stealing, well, I guess stealing.
Stealing
You could
is
say
the
stealing, right?
appropriate word.
Borrowing.
Borrowing the gavel from Pasadena's chapter, and actually, I still have that gavel. So if you're listening, Pasadena, come to one of our events and get the gavel.
We only learned recently that there's a tradition amongst JCI chapters to visit another chapter, and if you can get their gavel away from them and take it, you basically hold it for ransom, and you say, if you guys want it, you come to one of our events now and get it back. And
So funny.
we've had 6 months now. Hopefully they'll come and get it.
Yeah.
Do they even know that we have it? I
Yes.
think, okay.
I don't think they care because it wasn't their chapter's gavel. It was their past president's personal gavel.
Oh, I see.
And he ain't coming.
Okay.
Right.
But Alex basically was like, well, we don't have a gavel for anyone to steal.
Right. So I got us one. So now we have one. And it hasn't been stolen. And I'm going to hand it off to Cindy next year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
like next
soon.
week. Yeah. So what else? Anything else you're looking forward to? 2023 is a big year.
I mean, that's a lot already.
Yeah.
That is
The
a
whole
lot.
baby thing is because I don't really know what we're going to get either. So it's like, because we're going to go through the adoption route, we could get a boy, we could get a girl, we could get twins, we could get 2, we could get 3. It just depends what they have.
It's not up to you. You just
I mean, well, we get the deciding vote, but like they'll tell us, oh, we have this available. So then
Right.
we kind of just say, okay, yes or no, or
Right.
so we'll see what happens.
have you've already looked into that?
Yeah,
Kind of got
yeah,
the ball rolling.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
ooh.
That's so exciting.
And Katie, what are you looking forward to in this coming year? What are you excited about?
My son turns 2 in March.
2 years old.
That's a big deal for me.
Your son that we learned, whose name is not Rubik's. That's her dog's name.
Corin thinks that my son's name is Rubik's, yes.
There was an Instagram post with her son and her dog. It said, Rubik's is learning, whatever. And I was like, that's such a great name. What a great name for a little boy.
Yeah, totally. So unique. No, his name is Eden.
Eden.
And yes, Eden turns 2. And he's already in school. We put him in Montessori school. So he has learned pretty quickly. And he learns by himself and all of the other fun stuff that comes along with Montessori. And his language is like way up there.
Wow.
But yeah, so I'm excited to see how he grows even more.
Little
honestly.
baby genius.
Yeah, he's so
Yes,
cute.
it's crazy.
Cool. Anything else that you're looking forward to?
I get to celebrate my 5-year anniversary with my husband
Also very
in
cool.
January.
Big milestone.
Yeah.
Just
So
coming
excited.
up.
Yeah, right, coming up.
Wow. So you've
Yeah.
got your kid's birthday, you've got your 5-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
And your 1-year anniversary of being a JC.
Yeah.
Wow,
Look at all those
you.
anniversaries.
Big things coming up.
And your role as a VP of marketing, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
so that's going to be a big year for you. You know, we'll come back and we'll talk about like what you have planned.
Yeah.
For marketing and communications for the chapter, but I want to talk about this last year where Alex was our chapter president for 2022, and interestingly enough, the fact that you joined on January 1st, you don't know any different,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I
So-
don't.
You were actually our first member of the year.
That's
to
so
join,
funny.
So it was so cool.
That's so exciting.
And you literally have jumped in every single project. You've helped in any way you possibly can. You've been a great member of our team.
Oh, thank you. That makes me. Oh my gosh! Wait, I wasn't expecting praise. Wait, thank you.
Well,
No, that
you
means a
got it.
lot.
She's been great.
She
Like,
thought we were going to bash her. No,
Yeah, I did. Yes, yes, I did.
but let's talk about that year, Alex. Like it was a pretty big year.
Sure.
We had a bunch of events,
Yeah.
both as far as like I guess we've done trainings. We've had our flagship events, including some new ones, socials. Can you take us like I guess start from the beginning of the year and take us through kind of all the stuff that we've done.
Sure. So I guess one of the bigger ones that I'm really excited about is we opened our foundation. So JCI Santa Clarita Foundation is now up and running. We have its own president, which is Jenny Kutchpaw.
Woo.
I'd love to get her in here on the studio to talk about it. I think she'd be great.
Yeah, but about the foundation because
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't know like what's the purpose of the foundation, and I guess
Right.
you can kind of give us like a general rundown.
Sure. So JCI Santa Clarita is a 501c4, which means it's really not tax deductible. It's still considered a nonprofit, but it's not tax deductible. It's not. There's just certain things that you can't get. Like you can't get grants. You can't get certain things because of that.
Right.
So this year we were like, well, our big flagship events have really needed that tax deductible to get those bigger sponsorships, to get those bigger donors, to get, all those kinds of things. So we went ahead and continued and made the foundation, and now we're able to, give back, that stuff to them. So it's really cool. It already started. Santa's Helpers has used it. 40 Under 40 this year has used it. Even Get Real, he got to use it.
That's great. Yeah, because for years when we approach sponsors and we say, you guys interested in $5,000 or whatever, it's not a tax deduction for them to
Right.
donate the money to
Right.
us because we're a 501c4. Now the difference between 501c3 and C4, I think, is that because we pay membership dues, we can't be a 501c3.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal, and hopefully we can get some more money. What else has been going on for this chapter?
We had a new project, Get Real, which if you haven't heard of it, I'd love you to go back to one of our older podcasts.
Yes.
And I think it was with Carrie and
JR.
JR. They made this amazing project for high school kids for the financial literacy of it all. And it was just a cool project. It's actually coming up again in March. Yeah, March 18th.
Yes.
So keep a lookout for that one.
That was a big success.
Yeah.
And the biggest part of that success to me, I think, is that we had the Heart District come on
Right.
board officially.
Yes. That's such a
And
big deal.
they're becoming even a bigger sponsor and helping us this year way more. I mean, in 2023.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
they wanted us to do it at like each of the schools.
Right.
There's like 7 high schools
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But it's hard to get that many volunteers and
No.
vendors to come, once, let alone 7 times.
yeah.
I know it sounds funny, but I think my favorite part of the Get Real was the fact that JR got to push me in our commercial, but then we didn't even get to air
that was
that
so
part
great.
to the rest of the audience
Yeah,
to see.
we were so proud of that commercial.
We were.
And as soon as we showed it, JR showed it to his husband, Travis, and he was like, "Did you just push a girl out of the way?" and so and other people noticed that too, and for some reason it's like, it doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
And so we sent the district. Actually, I think we sent them the full version and they approved it, and then we sent them
A corrected version.
censored
Yes,
one
yes.
anyway. But yeah, that was fun. That was a good spot.
It was. I was very proud of that, and I was so sad. I was like, "Oh no," but it's okay. I get it.
No, it was great. It was still a really cool commercial, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All thanks to Koren.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
wow.
Videoed it and
That was fun.
edited it and made it amazing.
Yeah, and the event was a lot of fun too. And one of my
Yeah.
favorites. So the way that the event worked was high school students were assigned an identity. I am so and so. I'm this. I'm this age. I've got these many kids. Here's my job. Here's how much I make. And they have to go to each of these different booths and get a home, get a car, get some kind of a gym membership, get food, and see if they can live within their budget.
Yeah.
And every one of the vendors was their job was to upsell them and say, you don't want to get a regular gym membership for $40 a month. You're going to waste it. You're not going to use it. For $120 a month, you're going to have a trainer, and you'll get some accountability, and so you'll sell them on that, and they end up over budget, and then they have to go and renegotiate. Hey, I can't afford this kind of food. Okay, we'll get you the cheaper food.
Yeah.
And the funniest part for me is that some of the vendors were not willing to negotiate with them afterwards. They're like, "Well, you signed a year contract on this." On this gym
it's
membership.
over. It's done.
Yeah. So that's too bad. Or with the home, like they bought a home that they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And Josh Sinatra, who was the realtor and one of our sponsors, told them, well, we can sell that house and get you into a more affordable home if you need to, but you're going to lose money right off the bat because of realtor commissions and listing fees and whatever.
Of course.
And so it's like, man, like these kids really had like buyer's remorse afterwards.
It was, yes.
Yeah, they had to balance that up. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was fun seeing the students scramble and kind of get that real reality check.
Yeah, it's going to be great next year too.
Yeah.
Or this year coming.
Yeah. What else? We had 40 under 40, which is always one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was great. Taj and Arnold did a great job of organizing that one. They made it Vegas themed, so there was casinos and there was honoring the 40 people. It was just really fun. Katie was actually one of our honorees.
Thank you. Yes.
So, congrats.
I feel honored.
Awesome.
I feel grateful to be a part of all of the rest of the honorees from the past too. So it's cool.
And that was your first time attending the event too, right?
No, second.
Oh, you had been there.
I was a guest for Amy Fishwick
last year.
Year
nice.
before. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So
Awesome.
so you got to see two different themes.
Yeah. And both of them were beautiful. Like
Yeah.
it was so pretty.
Yeah. It's such a fun event because everyone just dresses up like crazy and they're just so into the award, and it's so rewarding to even just put that event on.
Yeah.
It definitely has a special place in my heart. Like we've said, I've chaired it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just love it.
Yeah, same. I mean, that was really my first exposure to the JCs.
Right.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely one of mine as well.
Yeah. We also had Santa's Helpers, which actually was not too long ago. It was amazing.
Yes.
We were able to, what was it, 700?
Yes.
Almost 800
So
kids?
we had 240 families sign up with us, and then we had 117 to show up, and that serviced 711 kids. And we gifted 711 kids. Their
Wow. And
gifts.
each one got like 3, 4 gifts?
3 gifts.
Three
yeah.
gifts.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Very
that's
unique.
Literally thousands
Yes.
of gifts
Yes.
were personally selected for them
Yes.
and wrapped
Yeah.
and hand delivered to them by Santa.
Yeah.
It was the cutest thing.
So cool. It was so cute. This one little girl, she got a bike, and she was on the other side of where we were, and she came running up and didn't go straight for the bike, but went and hugged Santa, and it was so cute. It's
memorable.
I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah.
Because she was like, so you would think she would just run right to the bike and be like, the bike, yay, I got the bike.
Right.
But no, she was like so grateful that like Santa was giving her this bike.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Yeah. And if you watch our last podcast episode, you would have met our co-chairs for the event, including Katie.
Yes. That's right.
So nice job. That was first year you're already co-chairing like a big event.
Yes.
So how do you feel after that? Like what's your recap on how
My
it went?
goodness. Well, I'm just glad that a lot of people were willing to step up where not where others couldn't, but more so like where others felt like they lacked an ability. So other people were very uplifting. And that is just great to see because community-wise, it's like you would think, oh, like, let's just get them out of here. Oh, well, like they're not helping or whatever. No, it was like, okay, let's put you in something else so that way we can focus on your greater attributes versus your like not so confident ones. So it was great to see that whole upliftment and cohesion and just pushing it out and making it all possible. And it was just great. Like I was surprised.
Yeah, what was interesting about your team is between the 3 co-chairs, like you kind of have different backgrounds and different
Yes.
strengths. So how did you delegate? Like, how did you guys work as a team? I know you've been friends, like best friends since childhood.
Yes, definitely. So since middle school. And what ended up happening is I would say that Amy is more of the forefront socializer, even though that we're all pretty social in that way, but she has more of that ability to just talk her way through it, talk her way, about it.
Sure.
And then myself is more of the brain power. And it's not, again, not saying that they don't have a brain.
Right.
It's just more so of like, I can hear a problem and I'm like, this is how we're going to fix it. This is exactly what's going to happen. And then Nicole is so much of an executor in that way. She was just like the one that was making sure, hey, like we did do this. Hey, we have this. We have, like checklisting almost. And then when one of us, like I said, faltered, it was like, oh, someone else can go ahead and remind the other person. And it was never, ever at a point of like, oh, I'm resenting you or anything like that. Cause you know how some people conflict in moments of heightened stress, but it was so much of just like, no, talk to me. What's going on? What's in your head? Let's talk it out. Let's figure it out. And it was so great.
Yeah, that's awesome because we've had plenty of events in which one of the co-chairs resents the other one or the other two because they feel like they're doing all the heavy lifting.
Right.
And in your case, it seemed to be pretty well balanced.
Yes, definitely.
And you knew going into it like what your responsibilities would be, or is it just kind of worked out that way?
It sort of like we knew other responsibilities, but then the natural ones that came to us are the ones that I just listed. Mm-hmm. So it was the ones that were sort of like falling onto our lap, and it's like, that's exactly how it's going to be. So that's how it came about.
Yeah. What were some challenges that you didn't expect that kind of as you were coming towards the event that you had to any fires that you had to put out in the last minute?
Oh, wow. Well,
I know one that I could think of.
You go
there
first.
There were quite
Go
a
ahead.
lot of people that showed up that we didn't have on the list. So we kind of had to like all of a sudden shop for those. I mean, we had a bunch of toys upstairs that we were able to shop for them at the last minute.
Yes.
But it was like, that was, for me personally, that was a little bit stressful because you're like, okay, I got to find a present for this kid, and you're kind of rambling to like find those presents.
How did that happen? How'd they show up?
It seems to always be that way. But I don't know. I guess I was more a part of that this year, that I just noticed more of it.
No, I agree with that. It was about, I think it was like 17 to 20 was the number of those that we had to shop for, but we had the extra gifts and such that we had upstairs. So we were able to shop for them immediately and throw it in a bag, wrap it up, and then give it away to the family. But that was definitely a chaotic part of it all.
That's why there was still rapping going on.
Yes.
Because I heard that the opposite was true also, in that there were some families who were selected through the Heart District, but then also through another nonprofit organization. So they were doubled up.
Yes.
Yeah, so there were a few of those.
So we had some extra gifts left over.
How they came about, though, how they discovered it was because of the fact, so for example, like Singles Mother Outreach, they gave them an email stating, hey, like if you signed up for this, just a reminder that the event is this Sunday, go ahead and do it type of thing. So when it happened.
They showed up.
Yeah, so they showed up thinking that they were on it because they got that email. And I had so many families showing me that email, and I'm like, don't worry about it. And so I'd walkie it up, and they'd go shopping for them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, the last thing you want is like, well, guess what? You ain't going to find Christmas here either.
Right. Like
you're not on the list, lady.
That's not about it. So we made it happen.
Oh, that's good. That wasn't the one that you were thinking of. Like, what kind of fires were you thinking of?
Well, it was more of a personal one just because the week before the event, I ended up in the hospital sick.
In the hospital?
Yes, I was in the ER. It was dangerous. And
a week before Santa's helpers, too.
Yeah, it was tough.
Poor
But
planning on your part, though.
yeah, see, it's all my fault.
So what happened?
No, apparently I had a stomach bug, but the stomach bug turned into a whole thing with my heart condition. So no worries, it'll be fine. I'll be great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's okay. But so because of the fact that I was absent, that's where I'm talking about, where I'm seeing people who took my role and like they definitely stepped up in certain areas that I was supposed to be present. And so I could only be present virtually. So I had a lot of check-ins of, okay, what's going on phone calls or like Zoom calls, et cetera, just to see like where we're at and trying to make sure that the list was there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's where I was like, I'm very grateful for the ones that definitely took a charge and was trying to help us because they saw that we were a person down. So,
Yeah, wow. Well, as coming in the day of the event, I would never have known.
oh yeah.
So it seemed to go very smoothly. Like it didn't feel very chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me too. So I've been a part of JC's now since 2013, and I have to be honest. I think this was the most calm, organized event that we've had, like Santa's helpers that we've had in a while.
Oh, yeah.
So I do have to say that. That's just my personal feeling towards it.
What was so sweet was I had some families go up to us and they said, "Hey, we have done Santa's helpers in the past, and we're so grateful every single year that your team is always able to provide for our family. But this is like the most organized that I've seen it." And I had like 4 families come up to me about that, and I was like, "Wow, that's so exciting!
I
Thank
felt
you!
the same way,
Like that makes me so happy."
One of the reasons for that, in addition to excellent leadership on your part and your team, is that Hello Auto Group,
Yes.
specifically Hello
Very true.
Subaru, stepped up and gave us use of their venue, and they're closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
So we had the whole place to ourselves.
Yeah.
Where in the past we were in a place that was open for business.
Definitely.
Like, for example, the last couple of years we were at the Westfield Valencia Town Center, who's been a great sponsor and partner for us in the past.
Yeah.
But they gave us a couple of offices free of charge to use, for wrapping and everything.
Yeah.
And they let us use their Santa while he was open for business with other people. But that gave us long lines and just
Yeah.
parking. It's just
Right.
it also became kind of a challenge. And the same thing when we were at the ice station, now the Cube. I don't think they were closed for business either.
No, I don't either.
So
Wow, okay.
working around other
Yeah.
people is just kind of a big challenge.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a cool venue for it. I would never have thought of it on my own to do it there.
I mean, I have to give it all to Kia too, because they're the ones that sponsored the whole thing. Like they really
Right.
backed us in being able to provide all of those presents, all of the venue too, because of Hello, and then also just
Was it
like
Kia or Subaru?
it was both
Okay.
in essence, but Kia is the one that had the money.
Yeah.
They're the ones that
I know
brought
Kia
it
was
forward.
a big sponsor last
Yeah.
year, but it's the Hello Auto Group.
Yeah.
I guess this year.
Yeah.
Because they just opened up this new dealership location like less than a month ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, their grand opening was in November.
Yeah.
October, November.
So speaking of stepping up, you are our incoming Vice President of Marketing and Communications.
Yay.
And something that you actually have in common with me and with Alex.
Yes.
Because both of us have had that position in the past.
I'm so excited to learn from both of you. You guys are amazing teachers, and you both are like so uniquely you, and so like you bring so much to the table, both of you. So
Oh,
I'm
that's so
excited.
sweet.
Oh, I don't know if we were going to teach. I thought we were this is like sink or swim method.
Just throw me into the sharks, guys. Thank you.
No, well, yeah, you're going to do great, and
you.
I think Alex and I had different strategies on our years. I started out, in fact, my very first JCI meetings, I wasn't able to be like on the board officially, but I joined as a I guess a director. Like I started doing, or as I was a manager of something of
Okay.
video stuff, and then became the director of video marketing specifically.
Yeah, I think you were video marketing director under me for 2 years. that I
Under you,
remember.
and then also when Daniela was VP of Marketing and Communications, I worked under her, and then when she became chapter president, I was the VP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
From
Definitely.
from each of our websites, we've got like 6 different websites
Yeah.
to writing press releases to all of our local media outlets, the videos, the podcast, the social media. We've got lots of social media channels.
Yep.
What else? The WhatsApp group, the newsletters, the monthly newsletters.
Yeah.
What else is there? I feel like there's got to be stuff that I'm even missing, but
I mean, just all the marketing in general. It's a lot. But I think you're going to do amazing.
yeah.
Thank you.
We're not trying to scare you.
No, I'm not scared.
No.
Don't worry.
The big thing is like we each tried to find like a team to work with us on that stuff, and
Yeah.
it's hard to get people that A, know how to do anything, B, are willing to learn it, and C, have the time to dedicate to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And-
we have to remember here, we're all volunteers. We all have
Yes.
our own, jobs out of JCI. So that's the biggest thing is like you have to find people that have the time to do it.
Definitely.
Marketing takes a lot of time, so I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
And I think you have a great team too that are going to be joining
so
you.
who's all on your team now?
Maji and Caesar. I'm so excited from both of them. I know that they want to take on so many projects, but it's definitely pacing ourselves is what I'm going to have to like rein in on both of them.
In what capacity are they each going to be doing things?
So Caesar just wants to do everything graphically. Maji, she wants to she wants to do a lot. I feel like definitely like
social media.
Yeah, like
and then,
there's
like,
more.
web
Yeah, there's.
were the two things she was telling me.
She definitely has like a. I forgot her background. If you remember it, I don't remember the background.
To be honest.
But
I know that she works for Abbott, who's like
right,
like
that's
a,
what it is.
yeah.
Yes,
They do. It's like
Yeah.
they do like labs, pharmaceutical type stuff. I think.
she wants the more fun stuff.
Yes,
Yes,
and social
that's what
media
it is.
is fun for people like her that
Yeah.
are social. Like when I was doing social media stuff, for me, it's all about the message. So it's like, come to this event coming up in 2 weeks. Hey, come to this event. Here's a recap of this. It's just just work.
Right.
But social media is supposed to be social.
Yeah.
And so I was never good personally with the social aspect of it. Like with this things, just the Happy Labor Day from JCI. Happy,
Right.
happy Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year and
Yeah.
the different holiday things. It doesn't even cross my mind to
Put it out there.
wish that to anybody. But you got to be posting so consistently.
Frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say those are definitely my goals. Like I want more of a social media presence just because it's not that we were lacking. I'm not going to say it like that.
No problem.
But I do want to say that there's a lot more that we could do. And with this team that is showing so much like gung ho, I want to be able to do this. I
Yeah.
feel like we're going to be able to execute it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So social media is something that you want to push big with.
Yes.
And you're going to have Maji working on that.
Yeah.
What kind of graphics do you think you want to send to Caesar? Like, is he going to be working on the social media stuff, or is she going to do it on her own?
Blood, gore. No, definitely just presentable, friendly, user friendly mostly, because obviously the age range is 18 to 40, right? So we're trying to hit a huge peak audience because even audiences between like 25 to 30 are so diverse. So we want to be able to speak on all levels, things that interest everybody in that age range and just highlight everything that JCI is. So
Yeah, that's a good point. So rather than just promoting upcoming events and recapping our events, I do think it's important, like you said, to have that messaging of who are we even,
yeah.
and why are we doing what we do? Because there's a lot of people that kind of like show up at our meetings and are like, hey, I read about this, but like,
What are you?
what do you guys do? I even spoke to somebody like when I first joined. I spoke with one of our, I guess, a former member, and he's like, "I've been a member of JCI for 2 years. I don't even know what we do." now this was this was 4 years ago. Yeah,
That's good. That's good. It was in the past.
Yeah, I'm glad.
yeah. It's
Hopefully not this year.
I feel like,
it's
I
not
feel like
recent.
I've made a really big point of trying to get people to understand who we are, and I've really tried to brand JCI as who we are and what we do. So in every single thing that I've put in the magazine, everything we've done on, they've all said like, this is what JCI is. So people really are, I feel like people are learning what we are, and the more we do it,
Yeah.
the better it'll be.
yeah.
Excited for it.
I feel like people have heard the name, which
Definitely.
is
Yeah.
great. People know
Yes.
who the organization is, and each time we do something, we're just branding it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, any other plans that you think, in addition to social media, what else are you looking at doing to get the messages out?
I want to really emphasize, and this sounds very chaotic, on these podcasts and our YouTube channel. And the reason why is because it's something that is such a everyday tool that everybody uses. People love listening to podcasts. People love watching YouTube videos. And I feel like with these, we just need sponsors so that way we can fund the whole project. And
Yeah.
we're able to just push out what I think would be great episodes. So for example, like all of the training personnel that are coming in and they're teaching us about philanthropic leadership or anything like that, right? I think they would be great people to have on these podcasts, or even highlighting just city hall members, everyday community members, things like that. Just because there's so much information out there that we don't know, and we're not going to know until it's put out there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm glad you brought up the podcast. This is something that we started out doing, was it 2018, even 19? Like Neil actually suggested it. He's like, "Hey, we have to have a podcast." And I was like, because I wasn't even into podcasting then, but it was because he suggested it that I'm like, okay. And we started out with something that we called the JCI Santa Clarita podcast.
Okay.
And we were just doing member highlights. Like we were just kind of like showcasing somebody, which I actually really enjoy doing that. We've done a few more of those, but I think it's important to kind of showcase the cool things that our members are doing. You know? So there's plenty of members to choose from and say, oh, look, Tom Ireland just, he completed his first Ironman competition. Like there's like
and
really
he was
cool
in the
things.
Guinness World of Records
That's
because
right.
of it. So that, like, these are such cool things to
our
highlight for sure.
Our members are for sure doing like really cool things. So we started out doing that, but we changed the title to Secrets of Tomorrow's Leaders because when you call it the JCI Santa Clarita podcast, you're not going to listen to it unless you're a member of JCI or you're in Santa Clarita, but probably both, and even then maybe not.
Yeah.
So we actually talk about leadership and marketing and doing all kinds of we're trying to bring value to the community.
Yeah, definitely.
And so other things that we've done with the podcast, in addition to like the member highlights, we spoke to alumni. Joey Levy came on a couple times with a segment that he produced called Levy's Lessons, where he asked people about times that they failed at something, failing forward and like what they've learned from it and how they overcame it.
Yeah.
In 2020, when everything went virtual, all of our trainings, we had each of our trainers came on the podcast.
Yeah.
And got to talk about not so much do the training on the podcast, but talk about the importance of it and kind of their backgrounds and so like we had Jenny Ketchpah come on here, Paul Butler. Heather Stewart.
Well, didn't you have one that came out this year? It was regarding mental health, right? I could have sworn. I remember listening to it. Yeah,
Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah. Grant co-hosted that one with me.
Yeah.
So, and she was one of our trainers.
Yeah, she's actually one of our members too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and then you mentioned community members.
Yeah.
So we've done a podcast episode with Mayor Cameron Smythe and now Mayor Jason Gibbs. He's our mayor now.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
one of our members.
Yeah.
And our event co-chairs. So I think it's really empowering as a co-chair to have this platform to talk both on the audio podcast and on the video, just to kind of be the face of the event,
Yeah,
definitely.
And talk about it. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity for that, and they can either be a 45-minute episode or a 5-minute segment. You know, like we could. There's tons of things we can do.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've got a background in video and YouTubing, right?
Yeah. So it started off when I was an executive assistant at a financial firm, and they wanted to grow their numbers in terms of just clientele. So I marketed for them, and then it switched over to public relations at World of Dance. I was their stage manager, but I also just dabbled in their PR just a little bit and their social media, and then it transferred over to I was a manager for a gaming content creator, and that was all over like TikTok and YouTube, like during the COVID days. So it was interesting to see all of the growth of how I've gotten to where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Wow. For that was a gamer.
Yeah.
That you're creating content for.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. Do you ever have you ever tried being an influencer yourself?
I was actually.
Were you?
I was a Twitch streamer, and it was great while I had it. Like I actually got like money through it all.
You were playing video games. People were watching you, and you made a living doing that.
It was like half of a living.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
That's
just because I wasn't as dedicated as other folks. Because I feel like with that, you really have to like eat, breathe, sleep that lifestyle. And I wasn't about it. I was newly married. I had 2 dogs, like 2 puppies. And, I just graduated from college. So I was just like, well, I want to do other things. This is more of like a part-time fun thing for me.
Yeah.
And it was a great stress reliever, very creative, got all those juices flowing, and it was fun, but nothing that I want to do anymore, to be honest.
And now look at you. You've joined the corporate world.
I love the corporate world, okay?
Working for a union.
Yes, exactly.
Right? But yeah, you're still doing fun stuff, even for them.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
So yeah, and the best part is I found that like when I was working in a creative capacity for a company, like I've worked, I did graphic design, I did, a DVD and Blu-ray. When I came home, all I wanted to do was like veg out and not do creative stuff.
Yeah,
But when I'm doing non-creative work, I want to come home and be creative.
exactly.
So, okay, so that's your vision for the podcast. Are you going to be doing sending out press releases and doing all the other stuff as well?
Yes.
And is that going to be you?
Well, that is something that I definitely have to talk out with my team because once again, it's just everyone is so ready to help. It's more so, hey, how are we going to distribute the work? So I think it will be partially me, but I have a feeling that Maji might want to, step in that way. But Caesar definitely is just like, I just want to do graphics.
Yeah. Okay. So he knows
Yeah.
what he wants to do.
He knows what he wants to do.
And it's funny that with Maji wanting to take on more responsibilities, you get to quote Neil, say, "I empower you to do this."
Yeah.
That is, yep. That is such a Neil thing to say.
Yeah. Well,
I love
he
it.
always comes up with ideas, and I guess I kind of do the same thing. Like you mentioned that with your brain power, you come up with a lot of ideas, but you need the executors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of what's awesome about. Did you get to do the strength finders?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of finding everybody's strengths because you can like moneyball your team together.
Yeah.
That's also something that they're planning already to do I think it's in February, right?
Oh, yes.
I think Carrie is
Yeah.
already planning to do the strength finders.
One of the
training.
trainers.
my
Yeah,
favorite.
as one of the trainers. Yeah.
Favorite trainings
So
of the year.
it's so great every year.
It's a good training.
Cool. Okay. So is there anything else that you guys want to talk about for next year? Anything that you're excited about within the JCs or otherwise?
I'd actually like to go back to my review. I didn't mention that about our socials. So can I just
Socials,
mention
right.
those real quick?
Yes. That
Yes.
was my favorite part.
This
of
whole
the
year, we really focused a lot on, connecting with our members and really having a fun like social club, if you will, making it like fun for them to be themselves, and hang out with each other and get to know each other more and really just connect with each other. So that was Brittany and Marcia, who Brittany is the VP of membership, and Marcia was the director of socials. They kind of came up with this whole thing. We're going to do one social a month, and they're just going to be the funnest and coolest socials that we've had. And honestly, they really have been like this whole year, haven't they? We've had
They were
some really
fun.
great socials because of the two of them just putting their minds together and just coming up with something. And
Yeah.
we actually have one. We've just done so many. It's so much fun, and I think our chapter is thriving because of those. Because we're all connecting so much more. It's becoming a friendship. Like yes, we still talk about business. Yes, we still network. But it's like we want to do it with each other because we've become so close.
Yeah.
With each other, all of us, and it's not just like we're exclusive to this person, we're all mixing and getting to know each other, and it's just a really cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that has been my favorite part of the year because it sounds really cheesy to say this, but the truth is with the JCs, you really get out of it what you put into it.
Yes.
And you can get
Yeah.
out of it whatever you want. So if you're someone that wants to build yourself as a leader, if you want to get into politics and advance yourself, you could do it that way.
Right.
If you just want to do personal and professional development, you could do all the trainings.
Yeah.
If you just want to learn how to put on big events, if you want to do fundraising, there's so many things that you can learn from being a part of it. If you just want to be a schmoozer and networker, that's cool too.
Right. Or just volunteer at an event.
Yeah, right.
There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, but for me, this year, I was like, you know what, I'll come to the big events.
Right.
But I've been on so many of the committees that I was like, it's time to take a step back, and I just want to do the social stuff, and that was perfect. It was really, really cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
And,
Glad to
and
hear
I'm
that.
looking forward to the socials next year.
Yeah.
We have a new VP of socials, right? Or
Yeah.
Membership.
VP of membership is
Yeah.
going to be Brandon,
Uh-huh.
and then director of socials is Arnold, my husband.
whoa,
And also Taj. So the two of them are going to team up again. Well, they worked on 40, and they're going to team
Yeah.
up again and make some amazing socials for the coming year.
oh, that's gonna
Yeah.
be great. I'm glad that you mentioned the socials.
Yeah.
That's
It
a
was an
big part of
important
it.
part of this year. I really thought, I really think they did a great job, and we all just had so much fun.
There's two things that I
yeah.
like to highlight about your socials, by the way, from this year. The first one is the fact that we even turned it into fundraising events. There's moments where we
Sure.
were like, hey,
Yeah.
like if you're able to donate a gift card, we're going to give these to, Children's Foundation or anything like that, right?
Right.
And then the second thing was the fact that I got to experience a social event with my little. So like the fact that I could
Right.
bring my kids
Yeah.
and let them interact with my kids, like other
Right,
kids,
definitely.
like people's kids that I would want, like to see more and
Yeah.
hang out with more, et cetera, et cetera. So it's great. It's a good time.
So
Yeah.
we were able to give a bunch of games to the Boys and Girls Club at one of our socials, which was
Yeah.
our game night. We had everybody bring a game to play and bring a game to donate. So that was a really cool thing. And then we also had at our cabana night, we asked everybody to bring, I think it was toiletries or
I think it was, yeah.
something like that for,
Yeah, it was a
for
case
the,
of
for
beer.
the child. Well, okay.
That too.
Something fun for you to drink, and then also something to donate to Child and Family Center.
Yeah.
So those were the two that I can remember off the top of my head. I'm sure we had a few others.
There was a few others that I'm not
but it was.
remembering.
I mean,
detail-wise, but-
that was a cool aspect too. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was getting us involved and getting us to share with help other nonprofits on top of being social and hanging
Yeah.
out with each other.
Good
I'm so
causes.
glad you remembered that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to be a part of.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Alex,
Thank
on a
you.
phenomenal
Thank you.
year. Very, very cool, and you're going to enjoy some downtime.
Definitely.
And
Relax.
congratulations to you on being elected
Thank
and
you.
approved as a VP of Marketing and
Yay.
Communication.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's and now as the host of the podcast, I'm going to give you the key to the podcast.
There's a key.
That's how you operate everything. I'll show you how to work it. And,
Sorry.
And for everybody else, thank you for tuning in. This has been Secrets of Tomorrow's Leaders. We are available on all the podcast platforms: iTunes, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, whatever. So tune in, and you'll see Katie on the next one, huh?
Yay.